Mukasa is out of Security Ministry. He is heading to Gender and Social Development. Asuman Chiyinji is no longer in charge of regional cooperation, and now he has been domesticated as State Minister for Works. The Attorney General Peter Nyombi also loses his position, and there seems to be no assignment for him in the new cabinet list. From State Minister to a full minister, Masha Kasaija is now in charge of Uganda's finance, planning and economic development docket. Mary Karoro Kurut moves from Gender and Social Development Ministry to be in charge of state security. Ruth Nankabirwa moves from State Minister of Fisheries to Government Chief Whip, replacing Kasule Lumumba, who is now the Secretary General of the ruling party. Engineer John Byabagambi has been promoted from the office of Works State Minister to a full minister of the docket. From Deputy Attorney General Fred Ruhindi is the new Attorney General. Dr. Elioda Tumwesiji has been confirmed from acting minister to a minister in the docket of health. He has been acting since the appointment of Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda as Prime Minister from the Health Ministry. Ronald Chivule is now the State Minister of Works from State Minister for Youth. New entrants into making the decision on behalf of Uganda are former radio broadcaster Evelyn Anite. Anite has been appointed State Minister for Youth and Children. Anite has been vocal on a sole NRM candidate for President Yoweri Museveni. Vincent Sempija, who contested for LC5 job but rejected by Masaka electorates, has been appointed State Minister for Agriculture. Dr. Chris Baryomunsi comes in as a State Minister for Health in charge of general duties. Philemon Mateke is a new entrant in Uganda's cabinet. He is now in charge of regional cooperation. The anti-homosexual Bill Brain, David Bahati, is now a State Minister for Planning from the position of Deputy Government Whip. Major General Jim Muhwezi bounces back as Minister for Information and National Guidance.
Away from the new cabinet list, the Inspector General of Police, General Kale Kaihura, has rushed to the scene of crime Friday night shooting in Mbarara. The IGP was in Mbarara to assess the security situation after 4 people were shot dead by an unknown assailant, reportedly using a gun used by a security officer at the Electoral Commission offices in Mbarara. Kaihura met the members of the public and sensitized them on the value and importance of community policing in improving security, outlining government efforts in fighting terror activities.
So explain to us where I am from. I'm also part of Wani.
Now I meet my brothers. Now we again you know what I'm but I see one of ya. Talk to the colony go and talk of joining the forces. Kata tamoni to lead. Abukuwa nitwe abapolisi barugomritwe na abapigef barugomritwe obuntu bantu maneno muntu anuka kantu konkawa alizo mzezi mjako kaje mbona tumetu makwatireyo tutakabatera stamp turene mtwaje ya polisi.
Fazul was killed in Mogadishu at the roadblock by our forces in Mogadishu. He was killed. Fazul was the one behind. The others behind that the Chadon and the 2010 terror attack. The rest will go to them. Awad Omar, they are here. And all the, apart from the suicide bomber, the rest will have them. And the case is now going to help them.
Now, the ICC Chief Prosecutor Fatou Bensouda has visited Bologna, the site of a massacre of over 120 people by the Lord's Resistance Army. Fatou Bensouda made this visit as part of an evidence-collecting mission in support of her case against LRA's Dominic Ongwen, who is facing charges of crimes against humanity at the Hague-based ICC. Area leaders welcome her visit and are very optimistic that justice will finally be served.
to confirm that she has been in this place. She is now going to lay the flower.
Great honor for me to have this opportunity to come and visit you.
So by the chief prosecutor coming to Lao and going to Balonya, he's going to give the victims time to tell the world that we suffered this because of Onwen.
It's in our interest to ensure that we prosecute that case at the ICC very well, and that the victims of the LRA war can for the first time feel that the process of closure has begun.
For the confirmation of charges to start instead on the 31st of January in 2016. I have to try to get new evidence that will substantiate the charges.
So glad you're still watching WBS Weekend Prime News Live. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Load the airtime knowing it's easy. You get it all back with Chizzy. All the airtime you spend at the end of the month, Chizzy.
1K, 2K, 5K, 10K, 20K, 30K. Airtime you spend is refunded. Talk and talk with Chizzy. Uganda Telecom's got something.
Get back your airtime with Chizzy from Uganda Telecom. Dial star 100 hash, select Chizzy and get the total amount you spend in a month refunded. This refund can be used for calls and SMSs to all networks for the next 30 days from Uganda's most affordable telecom service. Uganda Telecom. It's all about you.
Do you recall the last time garbage in your neighborhood was collected? Have you ever experienced garbage spillage trails along your road? Now that will be history. Spear Motors brings you a hygienically safe and labor-efficient garbage compactor truck. Unlike ordinary garbage trucks, this garbage compactor truck completely covers the waste and carries 20 tons of garbage. There is 0% spillage and much fewer trips to the dumping site. The garbage compactor truck is a self-loader. Only 2 men are required for the whole operation. Local authorities and private garbage collectors, the garbage compactor truck is now available at Spear Motors, Nakawa.
Welcome back to WBS Weekend Prime News Live. Presidential spokesperson Tamale Mirundi says that poor service delivery in districts where the leadership is dominated by the opposition is due to intelligence reports that brand them as saboteurs of government programs. In this interactive news segment, Mirundi also unmasks government mafias at the helm of the Katosi Road scandal, the National Drug Authority 3 billion scandal, and public service pension scheme. He alleges that these mafias have established strong connections with judges in the judiciary who have failed the Presidential Anti-Drug Theft Task Force, headed by Dr. Diana Atwine, to unveil the rot in the health sector.
Well, tonight on this interactive news segment, inside State House, with me on the set is the presidential spokesperson, Tamale Mirundi. Tamale Mirundi, thanks for joining me.
Okay.
Well, Tamale, there are issues, very serious statements that were made by your boss, President Yoweri Museveni, last week when he was in Bukomansimbi. He regretted having given the new district of Bukomansimbi to a leadership of the district that is comprised by the opposition. Did your president did he want to tell the nation that where the leadership of a district is comprised by the opposition, then he must stick for services?
If the president says that he regrets because what was the purpose of creating this district? Rwengo was part of Masaka. So if the argument was that having their own district will stimulate development that he has not done it, the president has a right to say that he regrets because he's changing your son or daughter from a certain school to another school where you think that his performance is going to improve.
But the underdevelopment in that district, Tamale Mirunda, President was portioning it on the opposition leadership of the district.
Yes.
Talking about the Gracious Chinji,
Yes.
Susan Namaganda.
Yes. They sabotage. What you don't know.
He has all the machineries, intelligence,
what you don't know. Politics is like a party. A party. I always tell my people in Rakai, in Chotera, that if you erect an opposition MOP, you are blocking the services, because where do you meet the president?
We have seen districts where the leadership of the district is NRM.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
And there are poor services.
Yes,
there.
I'm telling you.
We saw Amelia Chambade crying like a baby on TV.
You are missing.
Because of poor service delivery in her
missing,
district.
you are just missing a point. The point I'm telling you is that an MOP who belongs to an NRM, if he fails to deliver, there are many ways of rectifying the situation. These people can meet the president. We have poor performing MOPs. But if they belong to the party, the ruling party, you can go to the secretariat and tell them that your man is not performing.
Is it their responsibility to take services to the district, or is it the responsibility of government?
The role of an MOP is not to take services to the people, but to monitor. To monitor. If I'm an MOP, how many MOPs have inspected health centers in their respective constituencies? How many MOPs who have inspected the schools to monitor the performance of UP and USE?
But there's nothing to inspect. There are no
Yes.
services.
No. I'm telling you, they pass the money. Unless you are telling me that they don't pass the money.
And are you trying to say that your government has failed to deliver?
No, it's your argument. The president, out of the 112 districts, the president has identified a few where performance delivery is poor.
We're talking about having services in hospital.
Yes.
Having schools with the teachers.
Yes.
Having people paid promptly.
Yes.
And roads being constructed.
Yes. Yes.
These are not being seen.
No, they are done. They are done. Why? If you are negative on everything, you will see negativity. If you are not negative, for instance, the roads, most of the areas now have roads that have been constructed and improved. In many areas, I remember during one of the meetings with the teachers, the president was reading names of roads in a particular area. Those who had been completed, half completed, and those which had construction had just started. And the teachers were confirming. He was reading the roads. In Kitukumu, we have this. Is it true? Teachers who come from that particular area would come and say, yes, it is under construction. That one has been complete. You spend much of the time on sensationalism, bedroom affairs. That's why a whole minister is spending much of his time on Butambi. Butambi, what does Butambi do? And I doubt, I strongly doubt, whether ethics extends to Butambi. May I think ethics, the man would be in charge of the IGG's office, the Auditor General, that is ethics. But ethics, a whole minister to...
Are you trying to say that Father Simon Lokodo went off track?
I think so. Ethics way, because we have a minister of information and national guidance. Ethics, in my opinion, ethics, minister in charge of ethics, would be the head of the Auditor General, the IGG. Ethics within the government, not society. When you say that drugs are stolen, yes, because let me tell you, if you have a problem in the National Drug Authority, it would be everywhere in the newspapers, because these are people who are in charge of drugs.
The problem starts with State House.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yes, the problem was immense.
Not at all.
In the hospital, stealing drugs.
No, yes.
Your boss, the president,
yes,
created a
Dr.
team
Twini,
to investigate the stealing of drugs.
She has done a lot
She has
of work.
failed.
No.
She's a failure.
Diana,
They continue.
how many times do you talk to Diana? Diana has been let down by the judges. I can give you two examples. A judge, a doctor, I think he's not a doctor. somebody in the hospital or in the Ministry of Health stole drugs worth 3 billion and sold the drugs in southern Sudan. The man was arrested, arraigned before court. His brother, who is a judge, presided over the case and was given a fine of 600,000. And he went back. A person who has stolen drugs worth 3 billion. What do you want Diana to do? It's your judges. And these days, because they know that some of us are critical, some of us, we don't fear these judges.
Did Diana have evidence beyond reason?
Yes, yes. Talk to her. You don't talk to her. In fact, I was amazed when Dr. Lungume, one of the suspects, because he runs a private clinic, was begging for Diana's blood. That Diana has failed. Screw up the department. Yes. Diana has done a lot of work, but because you are not interested in it, and she has been let down by the judges.
But I don't think there's any person to blame for that.
Uganda,
I don't know.
Uganda Revenue Authority is very important.
The leadership of
because
National
it creates,
Drug Authority.
this is where we get money.
It's comprised by
National Drug
NRM
Authority,
cadres.
National Drug Authority, where they are fighting over money, where thieves are fighting over money, and it is kept underneath the carpet.
But these are NRM cadres presiding over that leadership of National Drug Authority.
These are not NRM cadres. These are saboteurs. They need money. They believe in the money. You tell the people to smash their heads.
If you have a president who says that this is my money, I killed my
Yes,
animal,
yes.
what does that mean?
No. Because
that
for
is also taking public funds be personal.
It disappoints me. Uganda has several layers of authority. This is why we have carried out successfully the devolution of power.
They
do you know the powers?
The institutions
do you
of
know the
government
powers?
are dead, you know that.
Do you know the powers of the chairperson of a district? He appoints even ministers. The only thing that the president of Uganda does, and which the chairperson of a district does not do, is printing of currency, opening up embassies. But many districts have established links with the outside organizations. So the problem comes down.
The question is that does the funds reach the district in time?
No,
it doesn't.
That's not time. I'm telling you, who is responsible? They even announce, the Minister of Local Government announces when the money. You look at the Auditor General's report. It's only because Parliament is always after the politicians. But a lot of money is being stolen at the lower levels.
How much money is being stolen at Ministry of Defense?
No.
You know that a lot of money is being stolen under the armpits of arming the army.
Minister of Defense, the army, if there is an institution that has performed well, is the army. The army has performed well, very well. Well, we are now an exporter of peace. Export of peace. The army, leave the army alone. The army's circle, Wazalendo, is the biggest in Uganda. It is bigger than many of these commercial banks. They have a lot of monitoring. But the media has done Ugandans a disservice.
No.
The media has deliberately been bribed.
The media has exposed.
No,
thieves in the government.
we have told you.
The media has exposed
the National Drug Authority, an organization that has a monopoly over drugs. Thieves are fighting every day. Thieves, they are thieves. Those are thieves. Those in the National Drug Authority, they are thieves. They are fighting here.
But who appoints them? The executive, they are appointed by the president.
But they are waiting. Do you want Museveni to pick a whip and chase them out?
Why does he appoint thieves?
No, it should be the police. But if you have a side director who is a member, is a member of the National Drug Authority, and there is theft. So if the person who is supposed to investigate cases is part of the problem, what do? You think Museveni should become a side director? Museveni cannot become the side director. You people, be fair. Put the blame where it is.
The president has covered himself with thieves.
Let me tell you, in Europe, when you say scandal and following, it has not been exposed by the leaders. In many circumstances in Europe, scandals are exposed by the media.
Which we have done.
In Europe,
which you have done here.
You are selective. I've told you that I have a number of cases. The Cairo Banker case, where pension money, thieves stole pension money. The case has been killed and buried. When you talk about the National Drug Authority, thieves are fighting each other. It has been removed from the media. Many cases. Why do you think we have a vice president, we have a prime minister, we have 70 ministers?
And why does
to
he
do what?
Why does he make such a big cabinet?
Yes.
Non-performing non-performing ministers.
It does not matter.
No. It all starts with him.
One of the former presidents of the United States,
you know that,
said that to live in a country without a media, a state with a government without a media, if he was confronted with the two choices, a country without a media and
like a dumb politician who wants to steal elections in
a media, a state without a country without a government with a media, she would rather choose a state without a government but with a media, because the media can operate. The media is very powerful. It's only because there is a strong bond between the media in Uganda and the local mafia. That's why sensitive stories are killed.
Do you know how many losses the president has caused to this country?
Which one?
As a result of turning State House into a clearing agent.
Which one?
Look at the Katosi.
Which one?
Hold on.
Let me tell you.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. Are you aware that the president met some of these fake Etao officials in the State House?
No. Let me tell you. This is where you reduce the problem. Meeting the president is not important, but the president did not decide. In fact, when you read my book, Killing a Medical Doctor to Save a Cobra, I tell you the culprits. The culprits are the Solicitor General, who selected the company, fake company. The culprits are the side director. The culprits are the housing finance. Do you know that housing finance guaranteed this bogus company? That in case it fails to perform, we shall pay. It's only because Kabushenga has deliberately not published the involvement of the Solicitor General. In fact, the Solicitor General was made to make a statement and housing finance. After I came up strongly and said, it's not Biandala alone. Biandala waited the couple, but the people who tested the blood at the Solicitor General, the side director, and the housing finance person. So therefore, for you, you have not dug out this information. Because in Uganda, many journalists have not done investigative journalism. The thieves, a thief with a bell, a thief with a microphone is not easy to trap.
Well, let us bring this interactive news segment to an end, whereby we have been discussing inside issues within State House and the weaknesses of State House into all this matter. Though the mouthpiece of the president has objected to some of these facts. Thank you very much.
Timothy Sibasi there and Tamale Mirundi. Thank you very much. Moving on to other news now. Uganda continues to lose forest cover and irreplaceable indigenous trees under a mere handful of encroachers who claim not to know the boundaries and now take advantage of court injunctions to destroy more of the central forest reserves. The encroachers deal in timber cutting and logging, charcoal burning and agriculture, where individuals freely grab land and sell plots within the central forest reserves for cultivation and settlement. Unfortunately, the National Forest Authority still has challenges in opening boundaries since it relies on one surveyor and patrolmen lack transport and fuel to carry out serious monitoring of reserves.
Every day, there is continuous burning and destruction of central forest reserves in the country by encroachers who claim not to know their boundaries. Kagombe Central Forest Reserve, an area of 330 square kilometers in the Kagadi sector, is one of those being destroyed daily. But the delay by National Forest Authority to open boundaries seems to be the root cause of the encroachment and destruction.
We know roughly where the boundaries pass because we use indigenous knowledge. There are people in the villages who have ever worked in these reserves. So we have recruited some of them as patrolmen, and they guide us into where these boundaries pass.
To work with National Forest Authority to ensure that we identify boundaries of these central forest reserves. Because you cannot protect something and you do not know even where the boundaries are.
At this rate of burning, Kagombe Central Forest Reserve is soon getting finished unless serious intervention is done. This means Uganda is fast losing high environment, the natural green cover of indigenous trees and medicinal plants. And for Kagombe alone, almost 50% of this natural forest is completely gone. But where is NFA in all this?
Me and my staff, our hands are tied for sure. One thing is the boundary, according to judge's instructions. This boundary must be opened. And once it is opened, we would know exactly where the boundary line passes, and those who are on the reserve would be told to go out.
After opening these boundaries, then we can be able to organize and mobilize these communities surrounding the Central Forest Reserves to form CFMs. These are collaborative forest management committees. Because these neighbors are the very people supposed to protect these forests.
Encroachment on Central Forest Reserves escalated way back in 2001 after President Museveni gave a green light of the takeover of Butamira Central Forest Reserve in Buyengo Sub-County, Jinja District, which saw other reserves meet the same challenge. But how was Kagombe Central Forest Reserve then, before the encroachers invaded it? A senior citizen in Chibal District tells of the wonders the forest had in their time.
The 60s, the environment was good because it was cool. The mornings were cool and the afternoons were also cool. You could hear birds singing here and there. Bush animals, bushbacks were there, pigs were there, and people could go hunting for a meal.
This means the country is slowly losing its biodiversity, which helps to keep soil fertility, and yet some are endemic.
With fever, we could use this, we call it locally a kibirizi or mubirizi, and you could just squeeze it, you drink a cup or a glass, and you cover yourself, then you are okay.
And when I talk of biodiversity loss, you can see across, even from where we are. This was a forest. I'm sure there were very many animals and butterflies and bird species here. Now, as of now, since we came, have you seen any other animal? Have you seen any bird? That means they are lost.
Indeed, Chibal District was once a forested area with massive tree cover in the entire 16 central reserves. But now this is only a regrettable situation, as there is a serious timber harvesting, charcoal burning, and a plot sold for food crop cultivation and settlement. This man says he bought 2 acres at 400,000 shillings in 2011.
Era nagula nga bangamba ndi mbuno taka ati bwe namala okugula we nategeera nti no sitaka.
Timber harvesting, however, degrades the forest because people have their preferences of species according to the market in Kampala. But agriculture, like you are seeing, is indiscriminate.
Food crop cultivation is seriously going on here. This man was arrested while harvesting maize, but he denies the maize garden, saying he was only hired. Recently, NFA efforts were frustrated when court put an injunction not to evict encroachers in Kagombe Central Reserve until boundaries are opened. But these have not respected the order.
Where they have gone to intact forests and do fresh clearing like you are seeing there, it gives us now a step to arrest them, thinking they are not obeying the court order.
But boundary opening is at a slow pace, with the contractor, Wemo, opening only 20 kilometers so far out of the 137 kilometers. This gives liberty to the encroachers. Unfortunately, NFA has only one boundary surveyor specialist who sits at the headquarters and cannot easily address this problem.
He needed to be supported by other surveyors. We could get, NFA could get diploma holders in surveying and give to support centers.
Resident District Commissioner Chibale District Samuel Kisembo Arali is concerned about the salary delays for NFA staff and patrolmen, who he says are demotivated and can easily be tempted into corruption in the forest.
When we say we are carrying out an operation, can we be able to carry out a genuine operation? If this timber is impounded, can they be able to be presented in court and prosecuted?
In an effort to green the environment, the RDC has secured 100,000 tree seedlings to be planted soon. But Kagombe Central Forest Reserve is a water catchment and source for River Muzizi. Unfortunately, this has dried up due to massive tree cutting. Stephen Mwiri, WBS News.
Thank you, Stephen Mwiri. About 3,000 men are diagnosed every year with prostate cancer at the Uganda Cancer Institute, Mulago. Majority of the men diagnosed with prostate cancer are over 50 years of age, and they usually turn up for screening when the disease is in advanced stages. A reason experts warn something must be done, and done soon.
In Uganda, with about 3,000 men diagnosed at Uganda Cancer Institute annually. The median age at which Ugandan men are diagnosed is 65 to 70 years, but currently it is common among the 40 and 50 age group. Uganda Cancer Institute Head of Comprehensive Community Cancer Program, Dr. Noleb Mugisa, says prostate is a gland that grows to a stationary size by the age of 20 and remains so until 50 years. And when it enlarges beyond an acceptable size, it becomes cancerous. Dr. Mugisa says by 50 years, about 25% of men suffers from urinary symptoms due to an enlarged prostate gland, which affects the urethra, which passes out urine from the body.
What causes that frequent urination in younger men? Many times it's infection. But in older men who are above 50, it's likely to be the prostate, and commonly the prostate is just enlarged, not cancerous. But in few of those men, this enlarged prostate could also be cancerous. So they could have developed cancer in this prostate, and it's the one causing the urinating frequently.
He says prostate cancer is an infection with genetic predispositions, and early prostate cancer may have no symptoms. However, men with advanced prostate cancer may have urinary obstructive symptoms, blood in the urine or semen, as well as bone or back pains.
Some of these signs, pass in urine, blood in urine. Pass in urine can be just an infection, but if there is blood in urine, it's likely to be cancer of the prostate. But these signs do not actually confirm cancer of the prostate. So that's why I'm saying that anyone with symptoms like these, they need to come and we check them. Then we are able to tell whether it's prostate cancer or not.
Experts at Uganda Cancer Institute say all men are at risk of getting prostate cancer, especially those associated with strong hereditary components.
This is a man. This is just part of the man, the pelvic part. So the prostate is here. When a man ejaculates, the sperms come from the testes. They pass through the tube that passes behind here, and it is shown here, coming through the prostate. So when the sperms reach here, the prostate secretes most of that fluid, semen, and then the semen carries along itself the sperms, and they come out of the penis. So every man has a prostate. I want every man to know that. And women don't have the prostate, of course.
Early prostate cancer may have no symptoms, and cancer cells are likely to spread from the prostate gland to other parts of the body, particularly the spine and the lymph nodes, which may cause permanent paralysis if the spinal cord is affected.
Cancer comes from a normal cell. Cancer is not an infection. Cancer is not contagious. You can't contract cancer from somebody who has cancer. It's the cell that becomes a cancer cell.
It is estimated that most men who develop this cancer will die between 10 to 15 years later if they don't get treated. Cancer experts recommend men suspected to have this cancer to undertake a combination of tests.
Men who are 50 years and above, we recommend that we check them for prostate cancer, or we screen them for prostate cancer. And You know, whether someone is urinating a lot or frequently, or they are not urinating frequently, all men who are 50 years and above, it's important they have an opportunity to have their prostate checked.
Cancer is a silent killer disease that can be treated. And the advice is frequently seek medical advice and go for screening. With that, you will have your cancer treated, especially when it is treated at an early stage. Harris Tembo, WBS, Uganda Cancer Institute, Mulago.
You're still watching WBS Weekend Prime News Live. We'll now have a reminder of our top stories. President Museveni announces cabinet reshuffle. Maria Tuonuka dropped as Jim Muhwezi bounces back. The losers, the winners, and the new kids on the block in the new cabinet. And IGP General Kale Kaihura rushes to Mbarara after shooting of 4 people dead.
I cherish children because they're important in our country. I show interest in what they do, I listen to what they say, so as they aspire to be the best, respecting children teaches them how to respect others.
You see, a good school equals to a better life.
Because a violence-free childhood is everyone's right. Raising Voices.
This is for the magicians, the ones who make sure you and I are fresh and clean all day long. Amidst all challenges, they toil to make us shine. Every single day, they apply their magic to give us more than we've ever dreamt of. Magic that appeals to our senses. Magic so motherly that little angels can't resist. Only they can do this magic. Magic that makes a big job easy and fun. Buy White Star Magic Premium at any shop or supermarket near you and feel the magic of all day fresh clean.
White Star Magic.
OLX Tunda.
Think you have nothing to sell? Look around your home. You'll find something you don't use anymore that you can sell on OLX.
Simply download the OLX app, take a photo of the item you want to sell, post it on OLX for free, meet the buyer, and tunda! OLX, everything sells.
Welcome back to WBS Weekend Prime News Live, to the sporting world. On form rally ace Duncan Mobiru Chikankane wins the 2015 Mbarara Rally for the second time as the 2015 calendar rolls off in style. Mobiru, who tied with rookie driver Desh Kananura on day 1 at the super special stage that was held at Pine Ridge, fired up his machine from start to finish. We bring you the details.
Having got an area shock from rookie driver Adam Asa, who beat him by 43 seconds and 63-kilometer stage, Mbarara Rally winner Duncan Mobiru Chikankane had to fire up his machine to win the 2015 calendar opener. Mobiru seemed composed in the second stage of the day that started from Sanga to Kanyaleru, picked 42 seconds from Adams, only 1 second down the inventory leader before the last stage. This did only put the day's leader Adams on pressure. Also cost him a lasting punt at the last stage, as he veered off in one of the turns and only survived the super low save for the soft bank that pushed him back on the road. The rookie driver had shocked many with his early attacks, lost some good time fixing his rear tires, thus ended finishing 12th overall. Finishing second position was Fred Wampamba in a Subaru N10. Arthur Blix Jr. came in third, as defending national champion Ronald Sebuguzi finished 4th. Next event on the calendar will be the Junior Rally late this month. Frank Sirugo, WSTV, Malala.
In a bid to build talent amongst the disadvantaged children, British Airways, in partnership with Comic Relief, join hands to change their lives. Speaking at the Charity Shield football tournament, British Airways country manager Faith Chase-Zavi promised to continue supporting the disadvantaged children.
These games, this is a second edition of this kind of arrangement of the Charity Shield games, whose purpose is to make a donation to a charity, and for this time we're donating to Brass Africa. Brass Africa is an NGO that gathers children from the streets, from those that don't have help, unprivileged, and develops their talents in music.
This is the second Charity Shield tournament that we're having. Last year was the first inaugural football tournament, and we're really glad to have it again this year. We are hoping to make this an annual event so that companies can continue to come and participate and help to donate and give back to the communities in which we operate in.
The Uganda national beach soccer team, the Sun Cranes team, gears up their training ahead of their 15th March 2015 Cup Championship qualifying engagement against Ghana. In their preparations, the match will take place at Entebbe Sports Beach, the exact match venue that measures to the required CAF and FIFA measurements. Already a strong 24-man squad is currently undergoing non-residential training on specific days ahead of the crucial qualifier. The winner of the game over the two legs will make it to the Continental Championships that will be hosted by Seychelles in April 2015. That's the sports. Stay with us now for a summary of today's news.
Think you have nothing to sell? Look around your home. You'll find something you don't use anymore that you can sell on OLX.
Simply download the OLX app, take a photo of the item you want to sell, post it on OLX for free, meet the buyer, and tunda! OLX, everything sells.
Stop chasing bonuses that don't last. Bonga Forever Ever from Uganda Telecom never expires and gives you up to 100% guaranteed bonus every time you load airtime. Simply dial *100#, select Bonga Forever Ever, and talk and text all networks with the bonus that lasts. Get Bonga Forever Ever from Uganda Telecom.
Uganda Telecom, Uganda's most affordable telecom service.
News Summary is brought to you by
Everybody use Mobit Apple Jelly. Mobit is amazing. Mums and Mobit Apple Jelly. Mobit is the best. Mobit, all the confidence.
In our news summary, President Museveni announces cabinet reshuffle. Maria Kiwanuka dropped as Jim Muhwezi bounces back. The losers, the winners, and the new kids on the block in the new cabinet. IGP General Kale Kaihura rushes to Mbarara after shooting of 4 people dead. Experts worry about increasing cases of prostate cancer. Presidential spokesperson Tamale Mirundi mentions mafias in government. And in sports, Mobidu wins the Mbarara Rally for the 2nd time running.
News Summary is brought to you by
Everybody use Mobit Apple Jelly. Mobit is amazing. Mums and Mobit Apple Jelly. Mobit is the best. Mobit, all the confidence.
It was great having you join us tonight. I am Anita Mwanguzi. Up next is Sporton. Good night.
Up next on WBS TV. Muziki Moment is brought to you by
Eddie Kenzo, let's go. I'm Casey Popo. Oh, my sexy lady, oh. Kampala, Pakapuja. My lover. Oh, my lover. Ah, yeah, my lover. Oh, oh, my lover. Hey, my lover. Oh, my lover. In a Wakamisi. Every man you want to find girl. Mine, she's a super diva. 10 over 10, Jambore. Super mama. Biraria, Siberian. Oh, incredible. Ah, kukusupu. Mama so beautiful. Oh, my lover. Jambore. Ah, hey, my lover. Oh, oh, my lover. Hey, my lover. Oh, my lover. In a Wakamisi. Hey, my lady, Tapa some yeah. Baby, say yes, I go make you feel